Okay, so I'm just going to talk over a few examples of some of the work that I've done over recent times, and a bit about how I think. So on screen now you can see sort of my ideas for what I think marketing involves and the frameworks that I use. It's Traction, the book by Gabriel Weinberg, the founder of DuckDuckGo search engine. I read that many years ago and really struck a chord with me. He talks about the 19 channels for marketing, and how you should come up with ideas for each one and then focus on the most appropriate ones for your business and your situation. Another person that I really admire is Rob Walling, who runs the Startup for the Rest of Us podcast, and he's written a book recently called the SaaS Playbook, which has got talks about how to run a SaaS business, basically how to launch it and grow it. And one of his chapters there is about marketing, and it kind of riffs off the Traction book, which was good to see because it meant that I'm on the right lines when I've been following Traction, and somebody else that I admire holds it in high regard, but kind of puts a more specific SaaS head on looking at it. So yeah, that's the sort of framework that I use when I look at the marketing plan for a business. Now I'll go on and talk a couple of examples of things that I've done recently. So this was a client that I did some work for. They run a events agency, and I basically came in and did some marketing automation for them. So I implemented an inbound system, segmented the deals into different groups depending on various parameters of what the lead looked like, and then created the copy and 6-step email campaign, SMS campaign as well, and then sort of tied it all together using a mixture of Zapier and the Pipedrive CRM system. So they were a recent client of mine. Moving a bit further back, I did some work for an early stage SaaS company called HubScope. There were kind of two technical co-founders involved in this, and I sort of came in with a marketing head and sort of applied the Traction framework to help us decide which channels were the most appropriate for them. So we put a plan together based on that. Some of the things that I specifically did, I developed the sort of different messaging, helped them think about customer profiles and who their ideal customer was, how they need to talk to different customers in different ways, and where they can find these customers. We then created content, got so that would talk to the individual customers in a way that was appropriate for them, so we could put the different segments into buckets and give them the right type of content that would help them to convert into customers. Set up a cold outreach campaign for them, and set up lead capture on the website with email marketing behind it so that they could nurture the leads that did come in. So yeah, that was a relevant SaaS business early stage when I worked with them. Now, after I worked with HubScope and before I worked with the events planning company, I was running my own marketing agency called Rising Sun Commerce, where we helped brands to sell on Amazon Japan. I used to live in Japan myself, which is part of my backstory, and my business partner had been working in e-commerce, so we decided to set up the business together to originally sell products, and then we turned it into an agency as well. So yeah, I was the kind of in charge of the marketing side of the business. I put one of the first things I did when I set up the business was to put the Traction Bullseye framework together. Now I can show you this because it was actually my stuff and not client work. So this is what I put together for Rising Sun Commerce Marketing Agency. So basically what you do is you list the idea in column A, what the objective is, what channel it belongs to, and then I put this priority together. I'd sort of bucket them as either A, B, C, D, E, depending on my priority for them, and put a number alongside them as well, so that we could sort them and prioritize them on what we thought them were the most appropriate, and then put a little field for positives and negatives against them. So this is kind of a brainstorm. Now I built this up over a reasonably long period of time, so it's quite thorough, and it's changed over time as well, but that's the fundamental process basically. So it's probably 2 or 3 hours work to put one of these together, but it really sets the tone of all the marketing that you do, and allows you to you've got a source of your ideas, and you can keep referring back to it and keep updating it. It's not a static document by any shape or means. So yeah, that's what I did when I first started doing the marketing for the agency. Some of the achievements, I guess, we started doing SEO. So one of the first things that I thought would be good was to how can we show up in Google for search results of people who are looking to sell on Amazon Japan. So that was our customer profile in that case. It's a brand or business which already sells their products through Amazon in the UK or the US or Europe. We want it, and we helped those businesses to sell in Japan as well. So the thought process is, what type of information are they looking for? So I wrote an article called How to Sell on Amazon Japan, and wrote a big case study about how we sold our own products. So I've opened up this window here. It's an incognito window, so you can see that it's not damaged by me being logged in to Google. So you type in how to sell on Amazon Japan, then you get Amazon's own page, number 1. Number 2, or they're even sponsoring that term, number 2, or the first organic, is their own page, Amazon. And then Amazon Japan has been the 3rd one on the list. And then next under Amazon is my article about how to sell on Amazon Japan. So yeah, it was really successful, and that's generated hundreds of customers for us over the years. Also, another question that I used to get asked all the time on sales calls was people wanting to know what the tax requirements were. So again, I thought, right, it's coming up time and time again. It's the question in everybody's mind kind of thing before they were selling. So I wrote an article, what are the tax requirements to sell on Amazon Japan? And as you can see, not only do we show up first, but we get the Google box, if you like. So yeah, so I riffed off it twice, I think. So I think we show up there and we show up there. So we've got the first 2 spots. And again, I could see on Google Analytics that was bringing in lots of traffic and lots of relevant traffic for us, and I'm sure brought us hundreds of customers over the years. So if I go back to my slides, so yeah, I mean, the other things that I did in the business were sort of, general marketing stuff. I set up a cold outreach email program. So I set up a system, a very thorough system for identifying products and brands that we wanted to work with. It's kind of, we saw it as a Dream 50 campaign, I think is what we called it, which was it's on the Chet Baker book, who talks about the ultimate sales machine, and one of his philosophies is that you should drop your 50 ideal clients and get in touch with them about working together. So that's what I did here, and I set up a process for finding the right people within the business that we wanted to work with, finding their contact details, and then setting up a multi-step outreach, email outreach system, so that it was kind of semi-automated but also highly personalized as well. I've never been about just spamming people with blanket messages. I used to include their particular product and how we could help them specifically. So that generated some big clients for us. And yeah, we didn't get all 50. We didn't get anywhere near all 50, but we got 2 or 3, I think, and they were our ideal clients, and they had a big impact for us. Another thing that I did was appear on podcasts, to do with Amazon, selling on Amazon. So using other people's audiences to get my name known. And then we worked with partners like the UK government Department for International Trade. Their remit is to help British companies sell overseas, and so we teamed up with them, and I delivered webinars on behalf of the UK government to share my knowledge about selling on Amazon Japan. And yeah, these are the broad skills that I used to do that. So yeah, I guess my fundamental point is I'm not just a consultant, I'm a doer. I can get in the trenches with you and do things, so I can not only craft a strategy that works for you and your business and your audience, but I can also get on the details of running the actual campaigns in different channels as well. I've run a business myself, so I understand the balance between short-term gains of getting some business in now, but also the future, and getting other people to run your marketing in the future. You don't want it to revolve around you if you're growing a valuable business. So I'm used to setting up SOPs and automation, and I've got an eye on outsourcing and automating the kind of the boring tasks, if you like, so that you can do the more strategic things, get onto the other channels and test the other channels that are really going to have a big impact on your marketing. So yeah, hope that helps.